I could only. Yes. We are live! We are live! Hi guys! Welcome to the English title one more time. And I have right beside me André Francois. Is it the right pronunciation, André?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good. He is half French and half Swede, and he is a happy person.
I am.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
André, sparkling wine or champagne?
Champagne.
Why?
Overall, I think the quality is better, but it isn't always like that. But a lot of times the quality is better.
Okay, that's cool.
So my favorite sparkling wine is a champagne. So therefore I have to say that.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried the Tokai wines from Hungary?
I have, and I like them.
You know that the French king, I think, I don't remember his name, but he entitled the Hungarian wine as the king of the wines. It was a French king or emperor or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Louis, I think the 8th.
Okay.
I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure. Oh, yes, yes.
All right.
Paula?
Your microphone is not working for some reason.
Not working. My microphone is not working. I am.
Mine is working.
Yours is working
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Why this keeps muting itself? Okay, now it's working, right?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Andre, you're a happy person. Why are you a happy person?
I'm trying to see things positive most of the time. So I would say that is a big reason to why I'm happy most of the time. Yeah.
Cool. And you happen to have a company called Happy at Work.
I do.
It's a very strange concept, by the way, because happy at work, you know, like work, happiness is like a very strange concept to put together. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think like sadly, like a lot of people aren't very happy at work.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, one of the things we want to change. We want to make more people happy at work, and we want to create more sustainable workplaces, and where people can be more engaged in work and feel more fulfillment when it comes to work.
And what was the idea behind? Like, okay, so one day I woke up and suddenly I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw everything away. I'm not sure if that was the story, but you can enlighten me.
Yeah.
I will throw everything away and I will create a company to create more self-fulfillment in people. And again, I am not sure if that's the story behind Happy at Work, but as I know, your company does also self-development and programs for people to get more into their own stuff, even if they are doing a work that is not related to their own talents. Am I correct or not? Or I just said some bullshit.
Now we do that too, but like our main focus is to create a digital service that helps companies to monitor the well-being in the company. So that is the main focus and what we focus on the most. And then we connect companies with HR companies and HR consultants that can help to also to make the changes and do a more like a deeper work when it comes to like the engagement and to with the satisfaction.
And the idea behind was?
The idea was basically it all started with a manager in Sweden, Stefan, who is one of the co-founders. He found out that he thought that the solution that was at the market at that place at that time to measure, you know, a lot of questions during one time. You only did it once a year, so most companies back then measured once a year and a lot of questions at the same time. And he thought that, you know, you should be able to do this in a more easy way where you can measure maybe 3 questions at a time and keep it short and do it continuously instead, so that you can prevent.
Your app, it's actually very lean. Like you have 3 questions and that's it, done.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we want to keep. So we want to keep the simplicity. And then Stefan went to Marcus, who is a very talented developer in Sweden. And he went to Marcus and asked him if he wanted to develop this app. in this service. And Marcus said yes, and he started to write the first lines of code. And then Marcus went to me and said, you know, this is the idea. What do you think about it? And I said, I think it's a great idea. And if you want help with marketing and sales, I can help you with that. And then we formed a trio. Then we had another guy joining, Jens, with design. And he said that I can help you to create good design and do the logo. And
what were you doing before? What is your background?
My background is that I've always had a entrepreneurial mind. So I've always been, you know, interested in project and ideas and taking ideas into reality or into a project. So my background has been very, very different from time to time. I also have a background in psychology. So I've been working at a mental hospital for several years.
So you studied psychology?
I studied psychology through the mental hospital. So I worked at a mental hospital and did quite a good job. So they recommended me to this psychology education. So I went to that for 1 year, and then I took several courses after that in different types of psychology. And that was also like a good background and a good perspective when we started the company.
So you use the concepts you learn to embed like let's say the back end of the application or the whole program in order to facilitate more development for the people.
Yeah, so I could see, you know, that okay, we like the first draft we had from the product was basically it was an easy to use service to measure the well-being, and I think my perspective on that product was to develop it with more psychology and connect it with more psychology and more, you know, to make it more intelligent than it was from the beginning. It was like a smart, lean tool to use. But what we want to do now, from now, is to create more intelligence and make it easier for the service to prevent when people are about to call in sick or.
People say that the Nordic, as a region, the Nordics, they have that's a fact. They have a very good quality of life, and therefore they are also very happy. Usually happy people. Swedes are usually happy people, content and everything. Measuring the happiness of people of a people that is already very happy, isn't it like? Why was that? I mean, I'm trying to understand what you wanted to get in the end, and what is in for the people to use your app.
Yeah. What's in for the people, or like what we want to achieve, is that we want to give the manager an easy to use tool to prevent people from leaving.
Preventing.
Yeah, preventing. So we want to make it very, very easy to see the first signals. When is the trend going towards the wrong direction in the company? So when is the satisfaction level going towards a way that isn't, you know, good for the company or isn't good for that person or for that team? And then we want to make it easy for the manager to know, what should I do about the situation? How can I change it? How can I what actions should I take here to prevent this person from leaving or calling in sick because of becoming burning out? Because to become burning out is a very big thing in Sweden, and has been for several years, that the amount of people calling in sick or going on a sick leave because of burnout is increasing, and has been for several years. So that was also one of the challenges or problems that we wanted to
Do you see that this is a trend more into the corporate world, or more in the entrepreneurial side of the? I mean, of course, entrepreneurs are a different kind of target audience, but the people that work for small companies or corporates are the ones that are mostly asking for sick leaves and, you know, for a time to heal their burnout.
Yeah. So like you can have these challenges or these problems in all kinds of companies, and that is also one of the most like exciting or you know things that we weren't expecting is that we have in our in our customer portfolio now, we have companies in sizes from 5 people in the company to 7,000 in the company. So we weren't expecting that really. We were expecting mostly bigger customers with a lot of employees, but a lot of smaller companies also want to use the service to monitor their well-being. They use it differently. Maybe what they get from it is different from based on the size of the company. But all sizes are wanting to use the service, and I think even in a smaller company with 10 to 20 people, you can still have these problems and challenges, and it can affect the company even more, because if you're only 10 people in your company and you lose 2 people of them because of burnout,
It's a lot, yes.
it's a lot, and it will affect the productivity and to like the
Did you had any project that went really wrong? Like, a client that maybe was expecting something, or that didn't really understand the service, and in the end it was like, oh my God, this was a disaster, but in a funny way you can put it?
As we had a lot of companies that, like some companies that have misunderstood, what the service is about.
What the service is not about?
The service it's not about doing the work that the manager should do.
Okay.
It can provide you with insights, and it can provide you with what actions you should take in that situation, but it can never take it can take small actions, but the bigger actions has to be the leader and should be the leader and should be the manager.
The cultural aspects of the company mean
Exactly. Like how advanced the technique, ever comes, we can't let the culture building to an app or to
Of course,
to technical solutions. It has to be a leader, and it has to be the people in the company
and
that builds that.
In the other hand, can you tell me like a project that went like really well, that a company changed from water to wine, or from wine to water? I don't know what is better for you.
Yeah.
Or better yet, a company that changed from wine to champagne.
That is really good. So that was a good example. I would say one bank that we had as a customer, we still have as a customer in Sweden. They started to use the app in November. They had a lot of challenges in the culture.
Big fluctuation, people asking for
a
sick
lot
leave.
of fluctuation, a lot of sick leave, and people leaving and changing to another employer. And they also had kind of a scandal in the company. And from November to April, you could really see the curve going up in the service, because it's really easy to see like where are the trend moving. And you could see, a really upgoing trend in the curve, and you could see that the comments that was providing from the employees was more and more positive, and the managers in the beginning also they had good insights what they should do about the situation. So that was it was it took like 5 to 6 months from a really bad level to a really good level. So it was really satisfying to see the action of the service.
That's very cool. So it's achievable, happiness at work.
It is, and I think more people should be happy at work, because we spend 80% of our time at work.
Yeah, that's true.
So then we should
even
be
more.
We should be happy. Yeah, even
cases.
more for some cases.
Yes.
I surely do. And therefore, I think it's so important to focus on happiness at work.
Okay, and I wanted to talk to you about this concept that I was studying yesterday before I was talking to you. It's called, this philosopher called Schopenhauer. He's considered a pessimistic. being considered a pessimistic amongst philosophers is already an achievement. And he could manage to be considered it.
Yeah.
And he says that happiness is useless. And the concept here is that that life has two aspects: the playfulness, or how to say, the joy, and the boredom, right? So it's either the playfulness or the boredom. The playfulness, in short, would be I have a desire for something, I work to manage that desire, and then I fulfill that desire, and then I don't have that desire anymore because I already fulfilled it, and then I have a new desire.
Yeah.
So you keep, it's a never-ending chain,
Yeah.
right? And the boredom,
Yeah.
the concept is that if, I have to remember this properly, but, oh man, I had this in my mind. Anyway, the concept of the playfulness or the usefulness, right?
Yeah.
It says that everything that is useful has its meaning or its end in something else. So, for example, the usefulness of water is to kill your thirst,
Yeah.
right? So it's not in the water, but it's in killing your thirst.
Yeah.
Or wearing shoes, or having a car, for example. The usefulness of a car is not in the car itself, is in the added value of it bringing you from a place A from place B.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or even we can go, like, for example, to a school, the primary school. The only use of primary school is to go to secondary school.
Yeah.
And the secondary school to go to university, and the university to get a job. You know, so everything that has a use or is useful has its usefulness in something else.
Yeah.
But the things that are useless,
Yeah.
they have their meaning in itself. Therefore, happiness is useless, because you can't use happiness for anything, according to Schopenhauer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But happiness has its own use in itself.
Yeah.
So what do you say about this? I mean, maybe I miscommunicated something, but you know the concept.
Yeah, if we start with, the fact that you fulfill a need and then you move on to the next need, I think in general in life, it's very important to, stop and rewind sometimes. Like I try to do, I do meditation every morning, and a part of the meditation is that I try to feel grateful for what I have and what I have accomplished and everything, but also for small things. So sometimes I tell myself that I'm happy and I'm grateful that I was born in this side of the world, because it has made some basic things easier, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm also grateful that I'm not sick. And I think that telling yourself that and to stop for a while and rewind a little bit, what do I have, what do I do, instead of jumping to the next need to fulfill. Yeah. Because if you do that, I think it will be, I believe it will be more difficult to become happy if you're always jumping to the next. Okay, now I fulfill this, now I have this car, and that's nice, and now I want to have that house, and then you have that house. Yeah. And in that way, if you hunt happiness in that way, it will become useless. But if you instead, fulfilling something,
And you being
grateful and rewinding a little bit, what did I have, last month, or what did I do last month, to stop and think, I think you will both enjoy life more and you will feel more happiness.
That's
in
cool.
general.
André, thank you very much for being here today with me. I hope that you can come more times. It was a very nice talk. Guys, thank you very much for being here with us. And as always, ring the bell and let us know if you want to know more. If you have a question to André, what are your social media channels? I mean, you can just,
LinkedIn, André Francois. You can also reach me on André at happyatwork.se.
Such a nice accent, André Francois.
And yeah, that's it. I don't have Instagram, but my company has Happy at Work.
Happy at
Yeah.
Work.
Thanks.
Comments below, let us know. And as always, goodbye and see you next Wednesday, guys. Bye.